The sheep are in the meadow and the coyote in the corn. The lies are long in
Hey
the
folks, we still have about
bedroom.
2.5 minutes before I actually officially start, but I just wanted to give you a rundown of what I'm planning for tonight. The stream should be about 90 minutes or maybe up
The
to 2 hours long,
sheep are in
depending on
the
how long I last.
meadow
In
and
the
the
very first part, which will take probably
coyote in
15 to
the
20 minutes, maybe
corn.
longer, I don't know, depends on how quickly I do these things and
The
how much of a
lies
discussion you
are
want to have.
long
I
in
plan to do a special live recording, which will be uploaded as a standalone video later tonight. Discussion and analysis of the 5.3 patch changes, class changes to the Hatred Assassin and Serenity Shadow. So, if you haven't taken a look at the proposed changes, nothing is official. Take a look at the link that I've shared in the chat and let me know during the discussion what do you think, especially if you play those classes. You probably know that I do not play any of these disciplines very actively, but I've done my research and I've checked and double checked some things, and I really think I have a few important opinions to share with you. Oh, you're very, very right. This is actually my Witcher starting music. There we go, we've changed it. This one isn't SWTOR either, because everything Star Wars is licensed, but it's more likely to be more believable SWTOR or heroic type of music. I'll shut up and I will see you guys with the big screen and the official opening in about 50 seconds. Hello my friends, greetings and welcome. This is going to be a live recording because I have some very special and important news, analysis, overview and discussion to follow up in the next, I suppose, 15 to 20 minutes. Those of you who are joining me live in the stream, please provide your feedback in the chat and we'll have a hopefully interesting discussion about the proposed class changes for Star Wars The Old Republic patch 5.3 that is landing in July. Bioware started today, Friday 9th of June, apparently, to share some insights as to what exactly changes are they planning to the classes. First, I'm going to read you the changes to the Assassin and Shadow, Assassin Hatred and Shadow Serenity. That's what we have for today. If they post something later tonight, I'll probably do a separate standalone video, but because we still have quite a bit of time until July when the patch is supposed to go live, there are quite a few more Fridays for Bioware to release those discussion topics on the official forums. How about we start taking a look? First, I'll actually scroll to the bottom and read together with you the reason for these changes officially stated by the combat team for BioWare. With the class changes coming in 5.3, we wanted to address several balance issues. One discipline that we found to be lagging behind its target DPS output was the Hatred Assassin and Serenity Shadow. Those two are mirror classes, just in case someone is new to the game and isn't aware. This is basically the same spec, but for the mirror Empire versus Republic. We changed several skills for this discipline to increase its DPS output. It's a dot spec. We wanted to help Hatred Serenity shine at what it's supposed to be known for, high sustained melee damage. So we increased the damage bonuses granted by Death Mark Force Suspension and Full Duration Fulguration Rebounding Force to boost the dot damage from the discipline. Damage over time, that's what dot stands for. Increasing the periodic damage it deals and its overall DPS output. We also wanted Hatred and Serenity to be better at finishing off enemy targets, so we increased the effectiveness of Inevitable Demise and Aching Mind, which helps to boost its overall DPS output as well. Finally, we wanted to make force regeneration for Hatred Serenity a bit more consistent and increase the force cost efficiency for Leeching Strike and Serenity Strike. So we made some adjustments to Leeching Hunger, Seren Poise, and the amount of force restored by Fulguration Rebounding Force to achieve these goals. This should give players of Hatred and Serenity a smoother and more reliable source of force regeneration. This is BioWare's combat team designers' official statement as to what exactly they're doing with the class. And here, are the few select changes. I'm going to actually first read the changes to you guys, and then I'll show you in game what their current state of this ability is, and then we'll have a short discussion as to why these changes are happening. Are they good? Who are they good for? And could they be better? First, increased force. These are for the Shadow Serenity, just because I've got my Shadow logged in and I can demonstrate in game with the Shadow. No other reason. Increased force suppression's periodic damage boost from 10% to 15%. Switching very quickly. Ooh, it looks like someone has been logged out. Ugh. Who's trolling me there? Right. This is my Shadow. She looks more like an Imperial character, but believe me, it is a Shadow and currently spec'd for Serenity. So we've got the very first, that's my cheat here, we've got the very first ability, level 32, being, where the hell is it, Force Suspension. The current state of this ability is Force Imbalance now suppresses resistance to the force, increasing the amount of damage the target suffer from your next 15 periodic damaging abilities by 10%, and this thing lasts for about half a minute. This skill has been increased from 10% effectiveness to 15% effectiveness. I believe that's a good change. The next buff is to increase Rebounding Force's damage bonus for Sever Force from 10 to 15%. Switching back to the game, and we can find this ability, Rebounding Force, where was it? Rebounding Force is a level 44 ability. Sever Force deals 10% additional damage, and when your Force technique deals damage, it restores 5 Force. So, going back to Rebounding Force restores 3 Force, down from 5, so this actually looks kind of like a nerf. When Force technique deals damage, we just checked the ability description. Currently in the game, it gives you 5 Force, when it procs, but after the patch, it's going to go down to 3 Force. And then increased the Aching Mind's low health damage bonus from 15% over to 30%. That, to me personally, seems like quite a bit of a buff. The Aching Mind is level 55. There we go. Force Imbalance, Squelch, and your periodic damage abilities deal 15% more damage on targets under 30% health. So, this ability is still going to affect targets under 30% health, but it's going to boost the effect of the ability with 15% more, basically increasing not just the chance, as Bioware said, of finishing your opponent, but also increasing the overall DPS, which means the dot spec is going to be just a little bit more viable for encounters where you have to fight multiple targets, because when multiple targets are being lower than 30% of their HP, those abilities that you're using will be boosted with up to 30% instead of up to 15%, and that's actually an overall DPS increase. The last change is, in addition to its previous effect, Seren Poise now restores 4 Force for each of your damaging periodic effects on a target damaged by your Serenity Strike. We're going to very quickly move back to the game, and Seren Poise is right here. Oops, it's right here actually, level 68 passive. The damage dealt by Serenity Strike is increased by 5% for each of your active periodic damaging effects on the target, and it stacks up to 3 times. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this seems to me like quite a big buff to Force Regeneration, because you have a lot of dots active usually, and you have them active all the time, and each one of them will be proccing, if I understand the statement from this post right here. So, in addition to the previous effect, Seren Poise will now restore 4 Force for each of your damaging periodic effects on a target already damaged by Serenity Strike. Tell me, more experienced Shadow and Assassin, do you think this is a good buff? They are nerfing one of the Force Regeneration effects, but at the same time, they're seriously buffing another one. And not buffing, actually, they are adding new effect to an already existing skills. Now, a little bit of overview and analysis of the whole picture. I don't know if Bioware is planning to do these kind of changes to all of the classes, because this is just the first batch we are seeing today. To me, it seems like a good approach. We are in the middle of a cycle, and it's not exactly a good idea to introduce a new ability or completely alter another ability. I've seen on the forums that many people ask for this ability to be brought back to the class that was moved to the other class, or just switching abilities from one discipline to another discipline. These are probably cool things, but I imagine they take more time from however big the combat team for Bioware's engineers is, and maybe this will require some more time and more testing. Also, this is just class balancing. It's expected to be just like that, boosting some skills or eventually nerfing other skills. Based on what we've seen for the upcoming class changes, I think that so far, or at least for now, we're only going to see buffs. Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but most of the disciplines listed here, plus a couple more that were not listed, but everybody wants them to be listed, like TK, for example. All of these disciplines need some love, and Serenity and Hatred are definitely getting some love. Whether these percentages from 10 to 15, 10 to 15, 15 to 30, and some nice power force regeneration, I think those would be enough. The discipline was really severely lacking based on its performance on the dummy. I've always been saying that if you want to be a good player, you shouldn't measure yourself with what you are parsing on a dummy in your ship. You should measure yourself against other players. And unfortunately, Hatred and Serenity, both of these disciplines, they were slacking and lacking seriously back behind pretty much everybody else. Combining that with the fact that it's a melee DPS class, still kind of undesired, even though the content is not nearly as challenging as it was 2, 3, 4 years ago, when the True Nightmare was really challenging and popular. Today, Nightmare still exists in the form of Master Mode, but sadly it's not that popular anymore, and much less number of players are actually playing it. Now, I haven't actually really considered the PvP aspect of these buffs. It seems to me that this is a very strong buff for PvP as well, because you know that dots are pretty much the bane of every PvP player. Many of the dots are really hard to get rid of. It's really easy to restack them. Pretty much all of the classes that have dots have a way to spread those dots, and with PvP being everything in constant motion and everybody moving all the time everywhere, it's really hard to stay on target. That's why solid basic DPS specs like the older versions of Combat and Carnage, for example, for my favorite class, Sentinel Marauder, they were slacking back unless the player is really good or really experienced, because you don't get to damage the target and then move back or move to the side while the target is still taking some dots from your previous hits. So buffing dots may actually really have a really interesting and useful effect in PvP. If anybody amongst you guys is actually active PvPer with this spec, I highly doubt, because I believe pretty much nobody ever plays Hatred and Serenity currently, but maybe this spec will be revived. I've seen plenty of comments under several of my videos and in other places from ex-Serenity players or ex-Hatred players that really missed that class, but they were forced to move to something else because this discipline was just not viable and nobody was willing to take them for whatever run they are running. Yes, I do agree. This seems like a very big buff to force regeneration. I'm not really sure if it's needed. I'm not really sure if it's correct. Yes, they're nerfing one way of force regeneration, as I've said, but they're introducing a brand new one. And in case you're not familiar with every dot spec in this game and probably in other games, the major portion of your damage output is coming from the dots. For my favorite class, the Sentinel and Marauder, the overall portion of the damage dealt when I'm playing Watchman and Annihilation is about 40, even more than 40, but let's say 35 to 40, 45% is coming from the dots, from the damage over time effects. And this is regardless of whether I'm playing on the dummy or in real boss fight. Much more chaotic, of course, and harder to analyze in PvP, because you really don't get to stay on target, and it's always different whether you get to apply your dots, how many of those dots, how many of them get cleansed. how high the target's HP is, how long you stay in combat, and God knows how many more variables. So yeah, this is my not so brief overview of the first proposed class changes. I think this is a very good decision. Simple changes, simple boost to already existing ability. They're not altering anything, but I don't think it's needed. Maybe some of you guys that would love to have a new ability or another ability brought back to your discipline, you would say, oh, that's crap. They're just buffing my already boring skills. But that's what class balancing should be about. In the middle of a season, or actually in front of the summer season, nobody should expect really big, gigantic, ginormous changes to any of the classes. I don't expect any of the other disciplines will receive something significant. Maybe more changes than just 4 abilities being affected, but this is not final. Have I said that in the beginning? None of these are actually final. These percentages might actually go up, go down, get completely deleted. Maybe new passives or new active abilities will be buffed or nerfed by the time July comes and 5.3 lands. It's also possible that some of these disciplines may be pushed back from 5.3 to 5.4 in August because Bioware would not have enough time to fix everything and test everything. I'm really hoping they are testing things internally before they release them to eventually PTS and then eventually to the live servers. Now let's see, what do you actually think? Anybody who hates the changes coming to Shadow and Assassin? Just in case you guys are exclusively playing the Empire side, here are the changes quickly listed with the Empire terms. That marks periodic damage boost from 10 to 15. Fulguration's damage bonus for creeping terror from 10 to 15. Fulguration restores 3 force instead of 5 when lightning charge deals damage. Remember that lightning charge is a passive now and you don't really see the icon. Increased inevitable demise low health damage bonus from 15 to 30%. That's a huge increase. And in addition to its previous effect, Leeching Hugger now restores 4 force from each of your damaging periodic effects on a target damaged by your Leeching Strike. So it's not any target. Okay, it's not any target. Otherwise, you would be constantly on 100% force. And then Clarify, I forgot, of course, to mention that clarified the 2-tip for Crackling Charge and clarified the 2-tip for Force Focus. I don't know what exactly they mean by clarifying this. What has been clarified? What was not really clear? What was missing? I'm not really sure if it needed clarification or... yeah. Let's see. Natasha. On PvP, yeah, it's used, but actually being decent at big fights, it's pretty hard since you have no damage mitigation. Okay. Oh, you're speaking of lethality here. All right. Well, hopefully letality's turn will come soon enough. I believe I'm done with the overall presentation for these, and I'm going to wrap up this segment, and this will be a standalone video, as I told you guys. If you want to share anything more, just leave a comment down below. And now, it's time for all of us to turn into the normal, regular, what was originally planned to be live stream session, where I'll do some gameplay in attempt to level some of my characters, and eventually finish my story with the mercenary bounty hunter Arsenal spec. Arsenal is also amongst those that will be changed, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I expect it to be slightly nerfed because of PvP. Hoping for a bug is not gaming. Nice. I'm really happy, I have to say. I believe I've said that in the first segment several times, that I'm happy with the way Bioware is introducing those changes. I don't know if they will keep the exact same direction with the rest. There are a lot of disciplines that are being scheduled for change in 5.3 and eventually 5.4. And we are already starting June. Today is 9th of June. There isn't that much time for Bioware to post one discipline per week. So is it possible? Oh, someone's hugging me. Hello, Valentiza. What was I saying? Hey, Oscar, how are you doing? You were asking for a Star Wars The Old Republic stream. You've got it. I hope you joined in time to see the presentation of the class changes. Let me quickly refresh the page and see maybe if Musco had posted another one. Nope, it's still the Assassin and Shadow changes so far. Yeah, it's funnily enough that I also don't play most of these packs. As a matter of fact, I do have two very detailed guides about Hatred and Serenity, but they are the only guides that I've not written myself because I'm not competitive enough and knowledgeable enough with the spec. They were written for me by Mebritio. He wrote actually the Hatred version of the guide, and I expanded it into the Republic version for the Serenity Shadow as well by just changing the terminology and leaving all of the tactics and the builds, the tips and suggestions untouched, because that's a class I don't dare to advertise you how to play. It's a class I've pretty much played only casually, leveling and low level PvP. I don't even remember if I've ever done level cap Warzone with Hatred Assassin or Serenity Shadow. Senna says, I think the communication of Keith and the improved communication of Musco. Oh, you like the communication of Keith and the improved communication of Musco. I think that Keith is really pushing the game into a brand new direction. We cannot expect a huge ton of changes just like that and the game would start receiving regular content updates. No, that's down to money and resources. But his transparency and his loyalty to the fan base is something we've never seen before. And as I've said in my video from yesterday, I've been here all this damn time. I've seen so many people come and go. Not directly, of course. Some of them I've just barely seen as names on the forums with the yellow posts and such. But especially the previous game producer, Ben Irving, holy crap, he has like -2 posts on the official forums. He appeared in several live streams, of course, and he was always giggling and laughing, something that doesn't suit really for such a very important role and position as the game producer for the game. I definitely enjoy the style of Keith Koenig, and I finally learned how to pronounce his name. I still struggle for like half a second every single time when I have to pronounce it, because based on how it's spelled, I would pronounce it Kate. And every time I say Kate, I'm thinking of Kate from Lost, the TV series, and it gets just complete chaos into my head. Which is my favorite class? It is the Sentinel and Marauder, if that's a question to me, mate. It's always been. I've made an attempt to play a trooper in the beta before the release of the game, and I liked it. But on the very, very last day, before the beta closed and we were preparing for the first launch of the game with early access and everything, I made the Sentinel, and the silly Jedi fanboy inside me woke up and said, "Oh, dude, from this day forward, you will be a Sentinel." And that's what happened. I might as well just log in to my character that I'm supposed to be playing. What the hell is this? Wow, are we in Giant's Land? Is it this one? No. I'm using the leveling version of my UI because we never stop grinding even at level 70. We keep grinding Command XP now. Power Tech Tank, yep, they have been reportedly the worst of the three tanks. But then again, Vanguard and Power Tech had very strong periods back in 4.x, the previous expansion. They were really strong class. If I remember correctly, they were also very strong in 3.0 and going forward. So I don't know if Bioware is doing these things intentionally or just rotating classes being nerfed in favor of the month, but I suppose it is that time when Power Tech is going to be nerfed through the ground and then brought back up. Currently, everybody is saying that PT tanks are really pathetic and weak of all of the classes, but come on, when we speak of weakness, this is only really important for not Nightmare, Master Mode operations, probably for PvP as well, because In PvP, you don't just rely on your gear. You need some passives and good abilities to keep yourself alive and to be smart with their usage. And when those abilities are betraying you, you don't really have much of a chance to do anything, right? No, you're supposed to spell boy with an I, I with the dot. That's how cool kids do it today. You've always preferred the one lightsaber higher face. Really? Hmm. Are we going back to that topic of Guardian versus Sentinel and Juggernaut versus Marauder? If Jim was here, he would totally agree with you and he will drag me. I mean, both of you will drag me into that topic and conversation once again. Well, you're older than me, but I'm definitely a little bit north from being called a boy. Still, though, I am a Sentinel fanboy. That's because the passive abilities of the power attacks are, well, I don't want to say crap, but even though when we were raiding before 5.2, and I'm not really sure how much more terrible they've become after the last expansion at level 70, but the power tech was losing its lead at the end of 4.x patches, while we were still raiding with my guild and with my team. Oh, I like that. Senna. Best tanks are the Sentinel tanks. Thank you. If I had space around here to actually bow without hitting at my microphone, um, I would actually do that. Oh, holy crap. I've just realized my dog ate a whole, what was they called? A whole package of melted chocolate today. And I just by accident looked at the empty carton, it's not the bottle, it's not the carton, I don't know what to call it. Ooh, look at that. I've got some rewards because this guy haven't been around for a long, long time. These are the new rewards, just in case you haven't seen them. The title, Galactic Defender, for which I absolutely don't care about. And this is the new droid, its name being PL2G. You know what that means, actually. Play to give. That's the idea of the last weekend's promotion, because EA's play to give is very, what should I call it, noble, even though everybody hates EA. This was a very noble gesture and very cool idea of them, and I didn't know that they've been doing that previously as well. The best tank in 5.0 is a mercenary. Okay, I don't know if you're trolling regarding the PvP aspects of the mercenary at the moment, mate, but I've never seen a mercenary tank in PvE. Not that I've been doing a lot of PvE in 5.0, but I would love to be able to tank with my mercenary. Unfortunately, he's got kind of a crappy gear. Where did the droid go? Droid, throw yourself. Ah, there you are. Nothing new. YouTube doesn't allow links in chat, Natasha. You can leave a link on my Facebook, Twitter, or personal message if you wish. But unfortunately, Google still doesn't allow links. That's probably because they have very, very bad history with people spamming YouTube. And I suppose if they allow it on one place, they will have to allow it on the other place. One place being live streams, the other place being. Oh, that's a cool way that you avoided pasting a link. That's actually smart and, of course, very popular way. Hey, Erasmo, how is it going? It's going hot. Right. How about we do some gameplay? What do you think, guys? Unless you would prefer to keep the conversation going, because I do want to get this guy at least to 56 and at least complete the original story, of which I'm doing at arm's length. Okay, Dart Torment has dispatched you to the recently discovered planet of Voss. Oh, I'm on Voss. Oh, that's interesting. Hey, Evgeny. What am I doing? Is that a question to me, or are you asking your buddy here in the chat? What are you doing? I'm about to do some gameplay, some leveling, because the first and the important part for today is already behind us. We've talked about the already officially announced changes, proposed changes, not official changes, but I highly doubt that there will be huge alterations compared to the official patch notes in about a month. How long a character transfers lasts? It should be nearly immediately. I've never witnessed, not that I've transferred characters, but I've never heard of any delay more than a few minutes. I believe they used to tell you that it's supposed to go in 1 hour or less, but it usually goes in a few seconds. If it is not in a few seconds, then maybe there is something wrong with the servers, or I don't know. Oh, that's nice. Wait, that's not nice. Oh, I'm right here. Okay, that's why I can't really travel, because I'm already on Voss. Many of your level 70, Jane, are on Balmora and Taris. Oh, you mean because you're way over leveled? This is also a very hot topic lately on several of my videos, and not by lately I mean for the last 1 year or maybe even more. It's really strange that some folks sometimes enjoy the level sync feature, me included. Other times we absolutely hate it and wish it to go away and never come back.
You want me to call you mommy?
No, I'll have to watch the video after the live stream, no. I can't do it right now. Story arc Voss. I'm not doing the story arc. I'm doing the class quest, which is still on Voss, but it's different. If you're a subscriber, you pretty much don't really need to do anything but the main storyline. If you fall back, you can go and do a couple of flashpoints and quickly get yourself back on track, and then return and do some more class quests. If you use all kinds of legacy perks, boosts, stims, and God knows what else, you probably don't even need to do more than just one flashpoint every 10 levels or so. All right. Let's see. On board AED. Shocks and revives an incapacitated ally. This ability is usable while in combat. This is our in-combat res, being granted at level 50. Oops. Probably don't want it to be here. I can't remember where exactly it's supposed to be on my commando and mercenary. What do I think of the new Stronghold? Ooh, this is a good topic. Thank you for asking. I've been thinking and planning to share some thoughts. Manan is a favorite place for pretty much every Knights of the Old Republic player, because it's legendary, it's classic already, it's cool, and it brings old memories, especially the music. The bad thing is, Manan is boring, at least the version of Manan that we see here in Star Wars The Old Republic. Manan was boring in KOTOR as well, but back then, what was that, 14 and more years ago, it wasn't boring, because back then we didn't know, we couldn't have detailed environments and things, but Manan in Star Wars The Old Republic is boring. It's just not detailed enough. There aren't cool things. And the fact that it's in the middle of the water and you're not allowed to swim in the game is just a big letdown for me. I would have personally preferred to have a home on Ilum. Yep, an igloo would be fine. I know, it's even less detailed, but it's Ilum. Awesome sky above you, ice everywhere, cool weather all the time. No, seriously, I like the Manan idea. I would have preferred Rishi Stronghold, and I hope that the next one will be Rishi. I've seen some of the data mine stuff, which I will not discuss in details with you guys, even though we're not really doing anything illegal here. We're just discussing and commenting on stuff that we've seen on the internet. The fault is with the folks who are showing these things. Anyway, thanks to those miners, we actually do have cool things beforehand. And we knew about the flashpoint on Umbara, the crisis on Umbara. We knew about the Manan Stronghold months before Bioware started speaking and hinting at those. What do you think about the Manan stronghold? Do you think it will be related to that mini area that we call Planet Manan today? It would be nice if we actually have a reason to physically go to the damn... Should I call it planet? We've got like 200 square meters worth of space on Manan with a handful of NPCs and a couple of instances, and that's it. Oh, one vendor, of course. There is one very important vendor. That vendor sells my favorite two-handed saber. It's not a lightsaber, actually. It's... Oh. You see those artifacts? Maybe I should have rebooted my PC before starting the live stream. Gather map data, okay?
We're just getting warmed up.
Yeah, it's hard when I don't have the proc waiting for me on unload. What do I think of Andromeda 108? I like the change with the in-game custom appearance. I don't understand the need for change and the actual change for the same gender or the same sex option to be romantic with Zhao. I love Zhao, but I don't know if it's me. I would probably never romance Zhao as a male character.
Warmed up.
Hey Ivan, thank you. I highly doubt that I will be good enough and quick enough, not good enough, but quick enough to be able to finally don that awesome set you've given me more than 1 year ago. But I still keep it and I still want to be wearing it. Full inventory? Okay. I probably should check the description of what I'm supposed to kill.
You want me to call you?
When am I doing operation again? That's a good question. You want to join or you want to watch? I could join operation right now. That's definitely doable. Just need to receive at least 5 hellos from some of you folks who are willing to join me, and we can join operation right now. Oh, I've got 1. Cool. Let's find some more of these Imperial... okay, yeah. Republic. Thank you, Varda, for the update. Yes, I was too busy killing the silly monsters. Oh, we've already seen the buffs, Erasmo. I don't know if you joined early, mate, but we are already receiving some buffs and some clear information as to what exactly Bioware wants to buff for the Serenity Shadow. The question is, do you think those would be enough? Is there a possibility that maybe they will overtune them and from being last at the very bottom of the tail of the DPS table, could it be that they bring them all the way to the top? And do a very typical thing what Bioware often does. Bring one class from the sky down to hell. Hey Zar. I've learned the difference between 1 and 5, man. Haha. You should be proud of me now. That's an inside joke about the comments Zar left on my video yesterday. I'm starting my Mass Effect New Game Plus tomorrow, Trio. You've probably seen the stream already. Hopefully, if you haven't, just check. It's scheduled for tomorrow and Sunday. I will be doing all of these things live, of course, and with your help, maybe I could give you a chance to decide some of the dialogue options for me, if you want. I haven't finished my first playthrough. I'm on 90% and I've switched from normal game all the way to Insanity. And when it took me 64 or 63 minutes to kill the Vulkk architect, I switched back to hardcore. Hardcore is tough enough. Insanity is just crazy. Insanity at the moment, at least that's what I see. Insanity is pushing me to play with a shotgun and I don't want to. I want to keep playing with a pistol and it takes ages to kill stuff when you play with a pistol in that game. What do you think about the post 4.0 companion changes? I like the idea of companions disappearing from story point of view. I did not like the idea of not having at least any kind of a knowledge about the companions 2.5 years later. In terms of companion mechanics, I absolutely hate what Bioware did. Basically creating one type of a companion and mirroring it 15 million times. Hey Zen, how are you doing? Your class, well, part of your class is getting a buff. Not the tank spec though. Vulkk is... Oh, really? Okay, if I read what you actually said before I greeted you, Zen, I would have just ignored you. Do I care about the bonus quest? Scan stolen Imperial supplies. No. Why would you call it a boring spec? Because it's a dot one? You need to like dot specs. You need to. You probably remember Zen, we started that game together 5.5 years ago. You remember how much I thought I hate dot specs, and later on how I've learned that dot specs are so cool and so interesting. I need to keep pushing forward. Yeah, I can't really go without killing those guys. No, I still think that HK51 specifically is cool, simply because he has way more lines than all of those other generic companions we've recruited in 4.0. Absolutely all of the Alliance recruits were just worthless. I mean, the missions were cool, especially the one with the Shade on Yavin 4. That's a very cool mission, one of the most complicated ones, and it's even today it's one of the most visited guide on my website. I forgot the name of the quest, sorry. Damn it. Someone help me out, please. The one with the shade and the puzzle with the seed code. What was the name of that mission? No, I don't really need trash loot here. I'm not looting anything. I'm currently playing with Skadj because I've never ever played with him. And based on what his fate is, I will probably never play with him again. That's a spoiler. I don't know if that's one of you guys, but I don't need the boost. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed the original companions because they were voiced, they were active during conversations. They don't just stand in the background and in some cases don't even stand there. Trick was the first companion that started the downfall of new companion implementation into the game. Trick was fun, she was speaking annoyingly often, but at least she was speaking here and there, not in conversations, unfortunately. All of the other silly companions, of which I have all of them on my main character, of course, not here. I have absolutely all of the companions recruited for the mission, for the Alliance missions. And I don't remember the names. I don't even remember which companion comes from where, what's their story, why they are here. It's bad. Bioware realized that it was a mistake to introduce so many new companions instead of include and consider a way of bringing the classic ones back. People did not enjoy the strange random companions Bioware threw up on us.
Perimeter. Those charges, Prime Sergeant.
Hands up. One wrong move and you're dead.
You heard the man. Hands off the charges. No time for that now. Hit him with everything we've got.
Come on, target automatically. There we go. You can do it. Now the question is, do I want to use a stim? Of course, I have so many. Look at that. First, I gotta use the bound ones.
I'm going.
It's 1 minute if you don't have the legacy perk that someone mentioned. Forgive me, I can't remember who mentioned the legacy perk for lowering the cooldown. It's 1 minute by default if you send your companion to do some trash selling. Not much, as you can see. And it's 30 seconds if you use the perk. Companion stories. Yeah, so I can play through the stories and remember them. I think I've done most, if not all of these companion recruitment missions live on stream. Or in separate standalone videos, if not live streamed. One tank in 10 million DPS. Are you telling the story how we forced you to become a tank? And what? Fine, since I actually went outside without doing the quest, I'll go back in and do the bonus quest as well. The mobs will still be dead. I just need to be careful and find those extra supplies that are lying around. What's that, level 35? Oh, that's an old one. I could probably get rid of it. Are the operatives getting changes? Let's check. I do not remember at this very moment. And which disciplines of the operatives are being scheduled for a change? Let's see. Patch 5.3. Yes, operative and scoundrel is getting an update. Let me maybe switch to this. Oh, not that one. Probably need that one. Right, so yes, it is operative and scoundrel, and I will have to go to this page here, scroll down a little bit and see a little bit more details. Okay. So maybe operative and scoundrel will be changed in 5.4. Because it's not listed here for the main priority list of disciplines, right? Mercenary, sniper, assassin, power tech, and sorcerer. Strangely enough, they listed them in this order and they started sharing from the middle. Assassin and shadow, hatred, serenity. That's somewhat strange to me. You know what comes to mind? If I want to do the bonus boss, I'll have to kill all of them. So let's not kill all of them. It's 1, 2, probably 3 or 4. Yeah, let's count them. 1, 2, 3. 4. Oh, screw it. They're all 5 here. Nothing around those gold mob and the silver up here. All right. That's XP boost. Did you know that from 1st to 5th July, we're getting another double XP event and double Valor event as well. No more details have been announced yet, except a few rows on the official website, which I've reposted on Vulkk.com, just in case you guys don't bother watching SWTOR.com too often. And the nightlife is coming from 13th this month until August. No date yet when exactly it's going to end. I was really certain that Bioware will bring back the Dark vs. Light event this summer. Maybe they're saving it for the next, so more people will forget what it was like and feel like they're doing something new and refreshed. What was the reward? 20,000 XP. Not bad. Everybody is complaining about how powerful and overtuned the DPS operatives and scoundrels are.
Keep your distance.
And
Afraid of
I'm
a living
wondering,
bomb. Ain't even
can
got
this
a
be fixed
detonator.
for both PvP and PvE? This class has been either underpowered or overpowered pretty much always. I can't remember a time when this class was really balanced for both PvP and PvE. Not that I played a lot, I just followed the changes, and to my memory and to my recollection, no such time exists. What do we do? What do we do? Remove the charge.
Wires, just what I needed.
Hawk's Nest compromised. Full retreat. Operation Cave-In underway. Final transmission. Harrier 1 out. Harrier 1 to Peregrine. The garrison at Fort Cadentha appears to be sending out patrols of Imperial troops. Flights recalled and circling. What's the situation, General? Please advise.
Peregrine has to be General Redrish.
Harrier 1, expect more. Yoren's convinced the Voss to allow Imperial
Ooh, a quick
troops to
announcement,
bolster Vosk's
even though
defenses against
there is a
Vulkk.
conversation happening on
Monitor
the
their
screen.
patrols.
Oh,
They
let me
stray too
boost my
far?
voice a little
Show the
bit.
Voss how ill-prepared Imperials are for Gormak attacks.
Maybe that would be better
Peregrine
now.
out.
So, a quick announcement. I will have a video hopefully tomorrow, although I have a recording of that video tomorrow and live stream, so I'll probably publish the video on Sunday at some point. It will be a promo announcement of what's coming on 24th of June. I think it's 24th, right? Let me double check again the date. It should be Saturday. 24th of June, Saturday. Sometime at the late afternoon, my time zone. There will be more details coming soon, of course. I will be participating for the 3rd year in a row with the Wookiee Mistake and Unholy Alliance guilds from the Harbinger server into the preparation event or the Raise Awareness event for Extra Life.
Putting me on standby.
If you know what Extra Life is, you know why I'm participating and why all of the effort is going for the whole organization about these events. If you've seen my live streams from the previous 2 years, you probably know that they're exhausting and they're useful and they're fun while I stay awake. If I can't stay awake, they stop being fun. What I mean is, on 24th of June, which is Saturday, I would like to officially invite you already to save that day, guys, and be present on, well, my stream or any other live stream on unholyalliance.org. You will see a list of streamers, including Sekari, Redna, JT, and Kel, I believe, and maybe I'm missing someone. Check out the list of streamers. All of these guys are on Twitch. I will be live streaming on YouTube, of course, because of quality and consistency. So yeah, mark the date on your calendar and you'll have a lot of fun things to see. And if you want, you can participate, of course. You would need some characters on the Harbinger server. Return to Yoran's office. Okay, I could probably shorten that trip. There is a Guns N' Roses concert? Really? Hey Marius, the weather is weird, man. It was like 30 degrees a couple days ago. Yesterday and today it's hot, but very rainy, stormy. We had very scary storm yesterday. Where am I going exactly? Oh, back to the... okay.
Vehicle paths are
Let's
currently
go
open for business.
with the mount. It is on the Harbinger server because everybody is playing there, everybody from the guild and the guys that are organizing this event. I've never been the biggest fan of Guns N' Roses. Of course, I like the old classics, and I didn't know that Slash is back. Really? That's interesting. I might have to read a little bit on Wikipedia to catch up. Just like every kid and every teenager back in the early 90s and late 90s, I've done some things on their ballads, during their ballads. I probably shouldn't say more. God forbid someone will mark my stream for being adults only. Thank you for stopping by, Erasmo. I hope you had fun, right? Let's do another quick refresh, see if the developer posts have multiplied. Something new? No.
Just getting
Eric Musco posted this announcement very early today, very early afternoon, I suppose, for his local time zone. He usually posts these important things right about this time. It's 10 o'clock at the moment for me, exactly 10 o'clock. But he posted the update for the Assassin and Shadow changes very, very early. 4 hours ago, actually. I needed to stay right here next to the chair to trigger the communication.
Hunter, have you returned? Oh, never mind.
Thank you,
Doesn't matter.
Murat. Watchman is among my favorite disciplines, definitely my favorite class, the Sentinel. I think it's in a good spot. I don't particularly enjoy it in PvP, but then again, I haven't done serious PvP in a very long time, so I can't really say what kind of a state it's in. For PvP. For PV, it hasn't changed much since 5.0, so I dare say while I was very active in operations, hard mode and nightmare mode, before 5.0, it was a very balanced spec. Thanks to the dot spreading, Bioware allowed this spec to be useful and versatile in multiple encounters, not just on one boss encounters where you sit on one target and fall asleep while hitting it.
I've got nothing to hide.
Definitely enjoy Watchmen. It's actually viable spec, unless you're going for a nightmare operation today, it's viable for absolutely everything. Even for fights that are extremely unfriendly to dot specs by default, such as Draxus, second boss in the Dread Fortress, for example. He might actually just be the one boss encounter that is suitable for concentration, for example. Combat will still outperform it, but it's fun to play concentration in that specific boss fight. Carnage is very strong. I can't say why the Nightmare Raiders are playing it today. I don't know if it's because they don't want to bother learning two specs at the same time. It was kind of a mandatory back when Nightmare was a thing, before it became just an exclusive group of 15 to 20 people per server doing those things. You've seen all of my live streams? I don't think so. There are far too many, mate, for you to be able to see them, but thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy them. Carnage is good in anything, yes. It lacks a little bit in DPS for some boss encounters, but it makes up for a very easy playstyle. There is absolutely no delay. If you don't have high ping, high latency, Carnage in combat is really good spec to go for absolutely everything. And today it's in such a state that would allow you to pick this one spec and play with it absolutely everywhere. That's the beauty of it. Before, I can't really remember how many patches and when exactly, but I specifically remember before 2.9, 2.8, 2.9, I believe, was, or 2.10 was when Combat and Carnage was very seriously changed from RNG heaven to, from RNG hell to persistent and burst DPS heaven. So this spec became very valuable for pretty much any kind of a boss encounter, both PvP and PvE as well.
You're a Mandalorian. Your people have made unprovoked acts of war against the Republic and conducted genocides against entire species.
Is that a question for me?
Deny it?
I'm not a Polish. Do I sound Polish? I've been asked if I'm Polish several times in the past. I've also been asked if I'm
I just joined.
Tell us, how do you acquire
let's see,
this evidence of yours?
Norwegian, Danish, not Spanish. Someone thought I'm Portuguese. I don't know why.
It's here.
I've been
That's
asked
all
if
that
I'm from
matters.
Brazil.
This is exactly why I
There is
asked.
also one of the
Please,
Nordic
User.
countries.
The Empire expects
Oh,
you
once
to
I've been
take the
asked if
word
I'm
of a
from
hired
Iceland.
killer
Do I
instead
have
of a
an
respected
Icelandish
official who's
appearance
proven
or an
her
accent,
commitment to the
perhaps?
Voss people
That would be
time
cool.
and
I've always
again.
wanted to
You
go
will
to
remember
Iceland.
it is I who agreed to make the
Are you
pilgrimage
Martian?
to the
Oh,
Shrine
that's a
of
cool
Healing to
question.
show my
Shh.
solidarity with
Don't
the
give away
Voss.
my secrets, man.
Idle promise. My associate can just as easily agree to make this pilgrimage.
Then take the
Bulgarian
trails,
it is.
outsiders.
Bulgarian.
That will reveal true character. We have
Just in case you guys are
infinite-
wondering,
You have shown us
the
much.
original name of my
Safe
country is
journeys.
pronounced Bulgaria, not Bulgaria. But I suppose English pronunciation is much more popular around the world. Vulkk the Viking. My brother he still has a dog, a lab, a
My
black
soldiers'
lab.
deaths
We
went
called
out
him
in vain.
Viking, but actually with
Expect
the
months
Bulgarian
preparing for the
version, which is
trials.
pronounced
They're going
Viking.
to kill you.
That's what Viking
after?
is in Bulgarian. We call it Viking, and that's what we call
Are
the
you
dog.
on her payroll
The dog
now?
is happily living
You
in
couldn't have
London at the
supported her
moment. I haven't
argument any
seen
better
him
if you'd
in
rehearsed it. As to this
2
trial
years,
business,
unfortunately.
I had to show the Voss
But I'm
that you're
hoping
willing
to
do
be able to
anything
go
your
to
public
London
will
and
do.
pay them a
You
visit
understand?
later this year. That could have gone better.
Not exactly what I'd call a victory, Ambassador.
We rushed things, but we got her to show her hand. This pilgrimage to the Shrine of Healing might be our
That name of
opportunity to
yours,
strike.
Trio, is giving
These
it away.
trials are
Yes.
obviously deadly.
Unless,
If
of course,
General
you've
Redbridge
said
were
something
not
up
to
in the
return
chat
from
that
her
I haven't
pilgrimage,
noticed
it would
about
hardly
your
be
country. But
unexpected.
yeah, PL stands for Poland, probably. Or at least that was my first
I'll
guess.
keep on her
It's
trail
been so
until an
long that
opportunity presents
I met
itself.
you in my chat.
Fadith Kai
I
is
can't
an
remember what
influential
exactly
figure
my
at the
first
pilgrim
thought
camp
was.
and is not hostile to us. See if he has any insight on getting you into this Shrine of Healing.
Very close, yeah. Just one northern border splits me and you. Unless you're in the Asian part of Turkey. Which would be one continent away. Let's see. Can I teleport? Yeah, let's teleport there.
We're just getting
Oh, you meant The Witcher 3 live streams. Oh, okay. Did you like the streams, the presentation, or the story? Or... Are we alive? Damn stream cut off. The internet dropped off for a couple of moments there. And I'm not really sure for how long you guys were not able to see me. Please say something in the chat so I can register as everything working normally back up again. Let's see. We are alive now. Yes, if anybody is not alive, please advise them in the chat to refresh the page and see if that works. Usually these things don't happen with YouTube because it automatically resumes everything. Are you keeping an eye on the World Cup qualifier? No. I've actually distanced myself from the football drama of our country, and both the country national team and the local championship, because there is far too much drama, not much football, and the pricing for the tickets for the football games is getting incredibly expensive. So I've actually kind of stopped progressively, lowered my interest, and at the end I just stopped caring much. That's why I'm live streaming Star Wars The Old Republic instead of watching our guys trying to beat Belarus. I'm not really sure if Belarus has an English name, but that's the country we are playing against tonight. Please don't give me spoilers as to what the score is. I'm going to watch because they play 1 week home, 1 week away. I used to be a huge fan, but it's either age or maybe the I think it's the dropping quality of the football games here in Bulgaria that actually pushes me away from it. Okay. Poland and Belgium are playing against each other? Ooh. Actually, one of my patrons who is from UK mentioned something to me earlier today in Discord, and I'm not entirely sure what he meant. I've not been following any of the world news and politics. I generally despise politics and don't care about that. Not here in Bulgaria, not worldwide. It's just not my thing. We were dealing with some workstations upgrades and fixing some older PCs at the office today. We were just having technical issues, technical fun, and things like that. So no, I have no idea what's happening in the UK these days, except that there has been a lot more terror than what it should be. And I know that there is an election. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow. I know it was very soon. So if you want to update me as to what the hell is happening to the United Kingdom or the politics over there, give me an update. Oh, wow. Sweden against France? Ooh, that would be a very good derby. We speak to Shayamdo. Shayamdo is probably upstairs. Yep, on the upper level. There you are. Oh, the election was yesterday, and today it was announced that apparently someone who was not supposed to win won.
Pilgrims can no longer reach this place. The Gormak will kill any who try.
Hey, I didn't know you're Swedish.
What is the Shrine of Healing? The shrine is for the mystics. Many come seeking their healing and guidance. No more. The Gormak have built powerful cannons that can destroy aircraft in flight. Shuttles from Vulkk crash. Pilgrims die. The Gormak are pleased.
Yeah, why should I
What's in
care?
it for me?
Of course, what's in it for me?
The mystics. You will be worthy. The Gormak have claimed an abandoned training camp. The cannons are located there. Enter the camp. Destroy the Gormak cannons. You will earn our respect. A big pile of Gormak garbage.
Oh, fat finger, I don't know what I pressed.
Keep their corruption far from this place.
Okay. We've obtained 2 quests now, and I do not want to continue the Voss one. That was kind of a mistake of me to press. But anyway, it's because the quest storyline is kind of split, and you're allowed to pick it up in the middle if you don't pick it up from the very beginning up on the space station. The news about that Milo fan who stood against the terrorists in the latest crisis in the middle of London. By the way, that thing with the bus and the three terrorists with the knives, that happened right next to the building where my brother works. Thank God he wasn't there. Wow. It was very late at the night, but it's still very damn shocking. Going there next... what? Sidious, who are you telling this to? Did I miss something? Anyway, I don't think I have any mods present and online tonight, do I? If you spot something out of the ordinary in the chat, let me know. I'll do my best to quickly erase it, but... Wrong stream. Okay, that's something I haven't seen on YouTube yet. I've seen these things happen a couple of times when I was streaming on Twitch. I didn't know that watching multiple streams on YouTube is also a thing. I am a big Star Wars lore junkie, yes. I probably don't know everything, but I would like to think of myself as well educated in the expanded universe of Star Wars. I've done my best to read as many books as I can obtain, one way or another. Unfortunately, most of the books are released very late here in Bulgaria, or never really translated. Many of them I had to read in English throughout the years. Comic books are pretty much non-existent here. I have to read them online. That's why I've subscribed to Marvel Unlimited, even though I received them 6 months later than their original release. Not many people bother to spoil you about what happens in this comic book or on the other one. So don't forget to warn when is ops. What ops? We're not doing an ops. No. There wasn't enough folks interested. I suppose that would be you, Natasha, messaging me in game.
He's got better things to do than sit around and scratch this junk on walls? Good for nothing.
Oh, look at that. I'm serving as a commentator for Senna. Nice, man. We're going to speak to Dokatra. I love the names of the Voss people. Just so fun. Are you guys excited about the Umbara flashpoint? I'm a little bit worried how exactly is Bioware going to bring Umbara to life. It's a very complicated world and very strange also. I don't want to live, to go through a world that, holy crap, that looks like a fairy tale or taken out of a fairy tale. And I don't think they can make Umbara look anything but a fairy tale world that has nothing related to the reality. What's my first Star Wars game? I've thought about that many times in the past and I don't remember. It's very likely that it's Dark Forces, but I'm not really sure. It's been so long ago. There was one game that me and a friend of mine played some 25 years ago on Nintendo 64. I cannot remember the name of that game, but you start with your Tauntaun as Luke Skywalker on Hoth, and that's all I remember from the game. It's a side-scroller game, so you move left and right. That's a 2D game, of course, from Nintendo 64 from 20-something years ago.
Pilgrims are so few now, and outsiders.
My favorite in terms of story is probably The Force Unleashed 1. The second one is good as well, but a little bit boring gameplay-wise. And of course, Star Wars The Old Republic is arguably my favorite Star Wars game because I've spent 5.5 years playing it, and the last 4 years covering it with video content, and for the last 2 years I've been covering it with written content as well.
How much do you know about my business with General Redrish?
She told me you would follow, and your intentions. Brought some friends for us to play with. Thanks. Stay in peace.
Skadge looked awesome in 2011, but today he's flat. Ooh, let's attack them.
I ain't gonna be your prisoner.
Oh no! Damn, you've ruined my fun. I consider trying Skadge as a tank, but it's too damn slow.
That all you skinny runts got? My gift is not foresight, but I see your fate is not for us to decide.
I'm a force of nature. The only smart thing to do is to stay out of my way.
We cannot stop what must come to
MMO is a
pass.
very, very different kind of a game than comparing when you play a solo game, third-person action, or RPG or anything else. Yeah. I wouldn't say there is grind here, especially not while leveling. As a matter of fact, leveling is unbelievably quick and even boring. It's so quick to such an extent that it's also boring.
I do not know her gender's
The
past.
current state of the game, I think there is a huge bright star from the moment Keith Kanak took over. I don't expect new fresh content regularly like in the past years, but the level of communication since the change of leadership with the game producer, it's so very noticeable, it's shocking. And I can't say if the game has a bright future, but I definitely like what I'm reading and seeing happening here. I wish some things would have been done differently, but I realize that Bioware probably doesn't have the financial support from EA, or maybe EA is pushing them to work on aspects of the game that I particularly don't enjoy. Damn stupid cartel market ruining everything. Okay. Speak to the Voss Outpost commander. How to get there quick. Should be able from here. The original class stories from 1 to 50 absolutely completely killed or destroyed any interest I've had or could have had playing other MMOs. And I don't know if Zen is still around, but for the last 3 or 4 years, he's been trying to find another game that's more exciting to him than Star Wars The Old Republic, because he gets bored very quickly. He farms like mad, and when he gets the gear and upgrades that he needs, he gets bored with the game and stops playing it. So he's mentioned to me several times throughout the years that SWTOR leveling and SWTOR level of cinematic storytelling, the way the story is presented, absolutely kills your interest of even trying to play other MMOs that don't have fully voiced over cinematic cutscenes. That's something Bioware absolutely revolutionized the gaming world with, and they should definitely be very proud with it. Unfortunately, they stopped building on it with 2.0. Well, they slowed building on it with 2.0, and they pretty much stopped doing it with 3.0. It's a very expensive process. I mean, continuing 8 different storylines, I don't think that's possible in an MMO. It was a huge effort for them to put 8 original stories for 50 levels for the original game, but I wish I had my video content and my YouTube channel from those 5-6 years ago. I believed, and unfortunately it turns out that I'm right, it's impossible to continue those storylines. I was expecting that Bioware will not keep doing unique storylines in the future. That's why we also don't have a brand new class in the game. They probably don't want to release what people call these days a hero class or a special new class that you start at level 60 or 70, for example. I think that other games have been doing this for years, and for some reason Bioware refuses to do that. Don't really know why, don't really care. I would prefer, if there is a new class, that class to be level 1 with a brand new story. If they want to introduce new mechanics and new playstyles, they could just add new disciplines to some of the existing classes. It would be just like we're playing a new class with a new discipline. If it is a new class in Star Wars The Old Republic, I would want it to be a class from level 1, story, voiceover, and everything like that.
My second-in-command led a strike force to the construction site. They could not breach its shields.
What stopped them?
What's your interest on the progenitor specifically, Marius? What are you looking for? What kind of people and content are you looking for to group up with? I've never been to that server except to do giveaways with my level 1 characters when someone wins and asks me to deliver to that server. So I don't really have any real observation as to what the population there is. Have I been in Sweden? No, never. I would love to. Is that an invitation?
The ship is nearly finished.
That would be a good time because the 5 days of summer are approaching for Sweden. I have a friend, a close friend, who's been to Sweden about 10 times so far. She goes there pretty much twice or 3 times a year, visiting relatives and friends. And she always brings me back gifts, primarily Star Wars items, because, you know, most of the Star Wars merchandise is never brought here to Bulgaria. Or if they bring it over here, it's crazy overpriced. So I use her to deliver to me some nice Star Wars gifts and toys and things, collectibles, you know. Hello, Akela-san. How are you doing? Did I read the name correct or did I fail? What do you mean free ride? Haha, thank you, Alex. That's really nice to hear. I hope that you are one of the many and definitely not the last person to tell me this. Have I played World of Warcraft? Yes, actually, several times. In the first 3 years of the game, because of my brother, I've started WoW like 5 times probably. Always with a cow, Tauren, I meant to say, the class, always as a DPS, and I've never managed to level up past level 15 or 20 or something. I even bought the first expansion, Wrath of the Lich King, I believe it was. Whatever its name was, I bought the first expansion to WoW. Again, because of my brother and his incredible push. He was insisting very hard on me to buy WoW and try to play with him. He was kind of obsessed in the first 2 years of the game before he got bored and ditched it. He was doing some hardcore raiding. Of course, back then we were living together, so I could see what he's doing in WoW. Oh, wait. Okay, I have to actually climb up, yeah. This is not where I'm going. I'm climbing up. Oh. I forgot that tent up on the top and the fact that I can only reach it if I go way back. I could probably climb from here, or can I? Don't remember if it's possible, but it will probably be quicker if I just move like this. Is it like so? In Malta, you've got 5 days of winter? Yeah. That would be... I don't think that's cool, actually. In one way, I'm blessed to live in Bulgaria, even though we are very seriously heading to be a third world country very soon if we keep destroying ourselves. But we've got fantastic nature here. I mean, real, true nature, mountains, waters, absolutely everything. We've got a fantastic Black Sea, which we never managed to completely destroy with overbuilding hotels and kurorts and tourist complex and stuff like that around the sea. The 4 seasons are absolutely marvelous here in Bulgaria. I'm so happy to be able to experience all of the 4 seasons in their absolutely true form. It's a little annoying when during spring you have one day of 15 degrees, shower and storm. On the next day you've got 35 degrees, hot sun, melting everything. It's fantastic to be able to see snow in late May. That's weird.
The Gormak attacked. She surrendered.
Not half. I've lost, if my memory serves me well, I lost 11 or 12 subscribers in the first 3 hours after I published that April 1st joke. But I knew that's what's going to happen, and I honestly don't need the kind of subscribers that would ditch me the moment I announced something like that. And of course it was a joke. So if you didn't realize it was a joke that I'm doing with this video, you don't really know me. And again, I don't believe I really should care about folks that don't bother to get to know me. I realize that I'm one of the millions and billions of YouTube content creators over there, and it's impossible to get to know every channel that you're subscribing to. But Winter just ended and you've just begun the fall. Oh, that's funny and a little bit sad at the same time. Maybe not to you. You're used to that kind of climate. How did I learn English? Do you think I've learned English? Think again. Half of the folks that visit my channel probably don't understand anything I say from the first 2 minutes and they never come back. But in reality, I've been learning English from kindergarten basically, and then all through beginner school, middle school, high school, university as well. I've also studied, learned German in high school and university, but unfortunately lack of practice kind of made me forget almost everything I've learned about the German language. I was perfectly capable of having a casual conversation in pure German. I was able to read and listen and watch TV in German, but it's really sad that I forgot all that. And English, of course, is popular all over the world. Sometimes I actually catch myself having days where I speak way more English than I speak my own native Bulgarian language. So even though I speak it with a funny and weird accent, I actually enjoy my own accent and I don't want to get rid of it. It's possible through courses and lessons and God knows what else. I do like my accent. I think it sets me apart from everybody else. And because I have to use English pretty much every day, I can't really forget it. And thanks to you guys, I keep even today learning new things like grammar. Bulgarian grammar is like a million times more complicated than English, but it's my own language and I don't feel like it's hard. When I have to learn a foreign language, everything is hard. Thank you, Dennis. I know it's good. It's good enough so that folks would understand me. We've got a few awesome ski courorts. Bansko, for example, it's a little bit expensive for the locals here because the pricing models are based on the Western Europe standards because most of the folks and tourists in Bansko are from Western Europe and from all over the world. Nonetheless, it's a fantastic place to go, not just during the winter. Bansko is actually a very good tourist location during the summer. I was there about 2 years ago in the middle of the summer when it was incredibly hot for a wedding of a very good old friend of mine, and we had lovely time. What? No, it's not a little bit of an accent. There is a huge ton amount of accent in my speech. Now that I've grown up and high school and university are quite far behind me, I wish that teachers and parents would have forced me to do more things than they already did. But when you're growing up, things don't look exactly like that. You have to admit, guys, maybe some of you are still in school or still in university. You don't want to learn 15 different languages because you probably think you would never need them. You don't want to bother learning those complex, advanced mathematical equations and I don't know how these actually things are called in English. But yeah, the advanced mathematics is really pointless for most folks, and yet the one time in life you need to know something and you don't, and you start thinking, oh crap, I should have paid more attention, it's cool. Or I shouldn't have actually skipped that lecture or the other one. Are you threatening me gunslinger style? Nice. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm trying to tolerate accents, but the Indian accent is really, really tough for me to understand. And I've been trying for years. It's really hard, damn it. Every time I hear an Indian person speak English, whether it's on YouTube video or when I go to England to visit my brother, because they have a lot of Indian folks there and I hear them speak, or when someone is performing a service to me and speaks with an Indian accent, I can barely understand what the hell is happening. And I every time that happens, I remember what folks feel like when I speak on my video with my weird Bulgarian accent. They want to learn something, they watch my video, they start watching my video, and they have no clue what the hell this person is talking about. Can we have subtitles, please?
Step up and try it. See what happens.
Oh, really? Thank you, David. Say hi to your little boy for me. Yeah, he already recognized the accent, probably. Oh, that's awesome. Soon we'll be doing group content with the little guy. No, I can understand Apu, but it's because I've been watching Apu for nearly 20 years. I know that the show is 28 or 29 years now, but I didn't start watching Simpsons from the very first season. Anyway, Apu is actually being voiced over by a clearly English-speaking person. I forgot. Han Azaria, I believe, was the name of the actor. He's absolutely fantastic. I've loved his appearance in Friends, for example, that old TV show. Hopefully you guys you remember. He was supposed to be the fiance to Phoebe. Yep, I used to love Friends, especially the first seasons of Friends when they were young and it was funny. And this was supposed to be a tough fight. But the monster is about to die. Yeah. Wasn't that tough in the end. Ooh, more spawning. Really? Why are you spawning now? Yeah, what can a 4-year-old dude be except being shy? Oh, one more. Ooh, I like that. There are no pointless knowledge. Each piece deepens your vision and understanding, and when decision time comes, you become... Oh, holy crap. What the hell is this? A sighted man among blind. Okay. You changed the alphabet by mistake, I suppose. Ooh, a big guy is here. You've just graduated high school? Oh, congratulations. The fun part is over. Hi, Kieran. Is it Kieran or Kyran? You know I'm terrible with names. Please don't embarrass me like that. Prep me. Teach me before I have to do stuff. Deactivate the arena force field, which is okay, right over there. Why the headaches? What happened?
You want me to call your mommy?
Do I like the romance between Revan and Bastila Shan? Why wouldn't I? Do you not? I mean, do I object against the romance between those? No? Yeah, okay, come on. That's absolutely true. The fun part ends when you finish high school. And even worse begins after you finish university. Hey, Nikolai, how are you doing?
The woman you took.
Oh no, mi viscom compreniro so kang. No vada grusai. Wale kang patron de tupa.
skiing in June. Really?
Tell me where to find these doubters. I'll make
Do you
sure she
mean
gets
like
what's
grass
coming to her.
skiing? Ski on grass? Or where exactly can you perform skiing in June? In the Alps?
What are we talking for? Bring 'em.
Better than... Oh, any romance is better than Padme and Anakin. Definitely.
I'll show you the ropes if
Be
it gets
good.
me out without trouble.
Is it true that Lightning Sorcerer is not good? It's a class I don't play often to have a specific opinion on it, mate. But yes, it is considered to be a weak class and discipline at the moment. And everybody is trying to push Bioware to buff that discipline as soon as possible. We don't know yet if they will, but they probably should. I'm sorry I can't be more specific. It's just, as I've told you, it's a class I don't play often enough to be able to give more detailed advice or opinion.
I'll try not to lose my head.
Is that a question for me, Quest Finder? Normally when you start with some characters, what personnel do you choose for you? Hero in storyline to be like good, legitimate, evil, or every time before I start a story here in Star Wars The Old Republic, I have an idea in my mind if I want to do good decisions and bad decisions. It's been 5.5 years. I've played through all of the storylines twice or more times. Even though I don't remember the small details, of course, it's impossible for all of the stories. I know some of the important choices, and when I decide to create a new or next alt, I always have in my mind an idea if it's going to be a good Sith or a bad trooper or things like that. When I start a brand new game, I usually go for lawful good, even though it's a term that doesn't exist in many of the games because it's a strictly RPG term. But I usually tend to play the good guy. For example, in Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm 90% completed with the game at the moment, just about preparing to start my New Game Plus tomorrow, by the way. If you guys haven't noticed the live stream scheduled for tomorrow and for Sunday, set your reminders, click that button on YouTube, and it will let you know when the stream starts tomorrow. Now that part is over, the self-advertisement, let me tell you that I've played the good type of rider, helping everybody, respecting everybody, romancing only one character. So yes, I haven't achieved those special achievements of, I don't remember what was its name, romancing everything that moves, or in other words, you had to do romances with 3 characters, I believe, to achieve that special achievement. You're new to SWTOR, welcome, mate. If you have any other questions, me or someone else, hopefully around here, will be able to give you an advice and idea. If you take a deeper look into my video and website content, you would probably learn the classes that I play or have played. And obviously, just like with every normal player, I don't have extensive knowledge of all of the 16 advanced classes available in the game. I wish I would, but that's the reality. Wow, there is nothing trashy. Really? I can't even complete my quest to level up. I have leveled up. Wow. Andromeda is worth it, yes. If you can spend minimum 20 or 30 hours at least to go through the main storyline, it's a good game with a good story. Try to isolate yourself and not attempt to compare it to the original trilogy all the time. There are plenty of references to the first 3 games and characters and events from these 3 games, and you will be happily surprised when something points you out to something that happened 600 years ago. But it's pretty much supposed to be a standalone game. It's not as good as everybody was expecting it to be, but I believe currently it's already being lowered or is in a constant promotion or a deal. So we should be able to find it for less than $40, I believe. Probably on less than 30, depending on where you buy your stuff from. I think on Amazon it's $40. On Steam, there was a promotion. It was on Origin, sorry. I mean, it was 30 something euro when I last checked it. 5 levels left. Yeah, it's not happening today. I'm about to end the live stream soon, guys. So if you want to have a little bit more of a discussion, because that's what I've had most fun with tonight, questions, answers, and just regular casual discussion about anything related to this game or anything else. So if you have any burning question that you want to ask, or if you've asked it already but I didn't answer, let's try and do that in the next few minutes, because I'm about to end the live stream today. And, okay. Let's see. I wasn't really prepared. I can do this. I can do this. Pay attention, giveaways incoming. 1-1 between Sweden and France. That's dramatic. How many years has it been since you've played that game? Are you talking about SWTOR Chaotic 5K? Was that about the... What's CXP? Command experience points. It was the bane of SWTOR gear grinding, but thankfully after half a year of effort and patches, Bioware made it to be what it was supposed to be at launch in November. Aha, that's what I can do. Let's see here. So, what giveaway should I do? Let's make this giveaway for... What do you guys prefer? 30-day subscription or 2,400 cartel coins? What do you think? Just a few of you give me suggestion and I'll make up my mind. Sweden is the best of everything. Yes, of course. Oh, good morning to you, Aldi from the Philippines. Cartel coins subscription. Oh, crap. Very diverse options. I think Cartel coins seems to be prevailing so far. Yeah, I think many more of you guys would prefer Cartel coins. Okay, so let's do a giveaway for 2,400 Cartel coins. How to do it? The question is, I don't have the damn bot set up and I don't think it's going to work. What I can do is ask you, yes, I know it will be annoying for some of you because not everybody is using Discuss, but check out this link here. I want you to post a comment on this link here that would be related to the topic. SWTOR Flashback, the official podcast, first server merges and life without the group finder. This is the topic of the video, and I'm asking you guys to leave a comment under this video with your oldest, funniest, weirdest, whatever you want to call it, memory from Star Wars The Old Republic. If you're a new player, just describe any of your earliest memories that you remember from yesterday when you logged in for the first time, or from 3 months ago when you discovered that this game exists. Just leave any comment that isn't a spam. Saying hi or saying I entered does not qualify. I'm going to go AFK for a few minutes and I'm going to draw a lucky number from today's post. So SexyMan2381 and Marek will not qualify for the giveaway unless, of course, they are present here and post a new post from today. You know how we do these things. Well, if you don't know, I'll tell you. I'll go to random.org, which will allow me to pick a random number to win this. And then, because everybody using Discuss is providing an email, I can see those emails in my administrator panel, and I can send you a message on your email. That's how you guys, the winner, is going to receive the special reward, 2400 Cartier coins. It's a code that Eric Musco gave me to help me celebrate my 4th anniversary since I've created my YouTube channel. It was created on 30th of May 2013, so it's actually more than 4 years old now. And for about 2.5 years, it was solely focused on Star Wars: The Old Republic. So by the time I started including other games, first it was The Witcher, now there are a few more, you could tell when Bioware slowed the content cycles. Okay, again, one last time, this is the link if you want to enter for 2400 Cartier coins giveaway. This is the link where you have to leave a message that is related to the topic of the video. Give me your oldest, weirdest, or most precious memory with Star Wars: The Old Republic. What you did, what you didn't do, what you discovered about the game, anything. I'll go AFK for a few minutes, and when I come back, we'll draw one lucky winner. You need to provide an email. I don't care what kind of an account you're going to use. You can link it with Twitter, with YouTube, with God knows how many other options it allows you to use. I need you to enter an email so I can find your email and give you the code if you're a winner. That's the only way for me to actually acknowledge who the winner is. I'll be back in a moment. Yo, Mr. Back. Okay, remember that once I click this refresh button, no more new commentaries will be allowed to enter, guys. So just last few seconds if you're really interested to enter for that 2400 Cartier coins giveaway. I've been trying to find a way to make Nightbot work on my YouTube channel. I don't know why it refuses to work, but I'll do my best to make it function because I still have a ton of codes to be able to give away. And hopefully that will be working for the next live stream. So, shall we just refresh the page and see what happens? It seems there are 10 comments. Without those 8 without those 2 in the bottom, which were the old comments. We've got 8. So I'm counting like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go to random.org and see who will be the winner. I realize that this is probably inconvenient for you guys to enter because not everybody uses Discuss. For whatever reason, not everybody wants to go outside of YouTube's comfort zone. Let's see who is the winner. Number 5. Do you know who's number 5? Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Craig, congratulations. I thought it was brilliant when I found out that I was on a PvP server for the first year-ish, that I was free to play. Was so surprised that there was actually a solution to those level 60 trollers on Tatooine. That's the winning comment. Congratulations, Hayaface. I'm going to send you an email, hopefully within the next hour, with your code. And now that I'm closing the live stream, I'll take a few moments to read all the other comments. Thank you guys for writing more than just a couple of words. I know that it's annoying when you have to enter to win something and you don't want to look at that. Whoa, holy crap. For Rose, thank you, Jakub. I'm actually going to send something special to Jakub or Jacob. I don't know how exactly it's supposed to be pronounced, but thank you for the longest comment in this collection over here. So I'm going to send you another small special surprise, kind of a reward just for the effort. With this, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I wish you a very good weekend. Tomorrow, there is going to be a special live stream for Mass Effect Andromeda. And also tomorrow, EA and DICE are revealing the next trailer for Battlefront 2, which is expected to happen around midnight my local time, so definitely after my live stream. Good night, everyone. Happy weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Some of you, probably.